So we currently, especially in the Chesapeake Bay, we harvest menhaden to turn them into fish meal and fish oil. The big use of fish meal and fish oil is primarily for aquaculture, and it's one of the big things that people say why aquaculture is not a viable production strategy. We know we have no other food production strategy where we harvest one species to feed to another species. So our goal was actually to turn carnivores, things like striped bass and cobia, into vegetarians by no longer feeding them a diet that's made out of fish meal and fish oil, but in fact is made out of plant proteins. The U.S. is fantastic on growing plant proteins, whether it's corn, wheat, soybeans, you name it basically. We knew from a lot of other studies that these are good protein sources. So it was unclear why people were never able to fully replace fish meal. It always got down to about 15%. You had to keep fish meal around to that percent, basically. But we made a diet. We had tested digestibilities for the protein sources that we were using, which was a mixture of plant proteins, was very good, 85% and above. Made the diet up, fed it to cobia, and they wouldn't eat it. And then we looked back and said, oh, we were supposed to add a component here called taurine. And we didn't do it. Serendipitously, we didn't do it. So we added it back and they started eating it. So actually the take home right now is that you can completely substitute fish meal with plant protein mixtures as long as you have this magic amino acid which bodybuilders take called taurine. If you look on your 5-hour energy drink or your Monster Rockstar drink, the #1 component on the very top, taurine. And taurine is, it turns out, in many of the carnivorous fish, they've lost or they have very poor capacity to make it from methionine, which is the amino acid it's derived from. But it's completely essential for vision, for lipid digestion, and for actually neural transmission. So we have a formulation out for the public to replicate that they in fact can make a fish meal free diet with plant proteins as long as they include at least 1.5% taurine. And the FDA